to go ahead and start calling to order, or?
Yeah. Do you want me to start?
I got it.
Yeah, Brooke, you should start.
Okay, so I'm going to call to order the select board meeting for Thursday, March 13th at 4 p.m. And just to confirm members present, Malcolm McNabb,
Yes, here.
Don Holgate.
Present.
Okay, I think it's just, and the chair, Brooke Moore, is here.
Okay, I'll
Yeah,
call to
Malcolm?
order. Yes,
Oh,
he.
yep.
Yeah, she called Malcolm.
Denise,
I'll call
Go ahead, Denise.
This is going to be fun. I'll call to order the Finance Committee meeting on Thursday, March 13th at 4 p.m. Roll call, Peter Schaefer,
Here.
Joe Wright,
Here.
Stephen Morey,
Here.
Jill Veith,
Here.
Rob Giacchetti,
Here.
Joanna Roche,
Here.
and I'm here, the chair. Okay, we're done.
Okay, planning board.
Right, like to call to order the planning board meeting for Thursday, the 12th, is it?
13th.
13th. I'm gonna do a quick roll call to see who's here. Nat Lowell,
Here.
John Kitchener,
Here.
Joe Topham,
Here.
Barry Rector,
Present.
and the chair, Dave Iverson, I'm here as well. We also have staff, Megan Trudell, present as well.
and Brooke, I see Tom is joined.
Yep. Tom, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Okay, terrific. Okay, so that makes 4 of us now. Okay, Libby, did you want to do any, or Denise, did you want to do any introductions, or should we just get rolling?
I think we can get rolling. Well, as of Tuesday, we have one article left that we will be reopening, Article 10, next Thursday, the 20th. And other than that, we have for all the ones that we've made motions or recommendations for all the 103 articles with one left to go. And then, you know, for the planning board, we just, as I keep calling us, we're the icing on the cake of the planning board motions. So the planning board have the primary motion that the voters actually vote on.
And the planning board's complete, right, on all their motions?
Yes.
Okay, terrific.
Right.
So
If I can real quick, we had a property owner actually come in today about the Rosemary Way article, and we anticipate re-advertising that one. Obviously, if the motion's amended, that's not going to print in the warrant. It'll have to go in as a technical. But just to put that on your radar. What number is that, Megan? Let me pull up the warrant. It's the change Rosemary Way RC2 to R5 or CTEC.
32.
32.
It's 32. And it was planning board gave it a positive recommendation.
For R5, and the contract purchaser of a property prefers CTEC, so we'll have to go ahead and re-advertise that for our April 14th meeting.
Wasn't there another one, Megan, that they did that too as well? So was it 33 that they went to CTEC instead of R5?
That was the Surfside RC
Appleton Road.
Yeah, and that is included in the warrant printed as the planning board amended it.
All right.
Madam Chair, may I? Megan,
Yes.
on this Rosemary Way, was CTAC listed in the article as a possible rezoning district?
Yes, it was.
Okay, thank you.
okay, so starting with that, typically what we do is we basically go through article by article, and if anybody has any questions or comments, just chime in, and I'll just tick them off one at a time. So Article 1, receipt of reports. Article 2, appropriation for unpaid bills. Article 3, appropriation prior year articles. Article 4, revolving accounts, spending limits for fiscal year 2026. Article 5, appropriation reserve fund. Article 6, fiscal year 25 general fund budget transfers. Article 7, personnel compensation plans for fiscal year 26. Article 8, appropriation fiscal year 26 general fund operating budget. Article 9, appropriation health and human services. Article 10 will be reopened next week, so unless anyone has anything about it, we'll have something different. Article 11, appropriation town employee housing design owners project manager and construction costs.
Brooke, can I
Yeah.
just note that Matt Fee has joined the meeting?
Oh, okay. Matt, can you hear us? Can you just confirm?
I can hear you. Yep.
Okay, all right, terrific. Article 12, supplemental appropriation, public works, facility improvements and design. For design. 13, appropriation our island home. 14, supplemental appropriation Tom Nevers Road bike path. 15, appropriation fiscal year 26 enterprise funds operations. 16, appropriation enterprise funds capital expenditures. 17, enterprise funds fiscal year 25 budget transfers. 18, appropriation waterways improvement fund. 19, appropriation ambulance reserve fund. 20, appropriation ferry embarkation fee. 21, appropriation county assessment. 22, appropriation finalizing fiscal year 26 county budget. 23, rescind unused borrowing authority. 24, appropriation other post-employment benefits trust fund, OPEB. 25, appropriation fiscal year 26 senior work-off program. 26, appropriation fiscal year 26 community preservation committee. 27, community preservation fiscal year 25 budget transfers. 28, appropriation community preservation fund for affordable housing trust fund. 29, rescind unused borrowing authority for the affordable housing trust. That's a citizen warrant article. 30, appropriation teenage recreation center program, a citizen warrant article. 31, zoning map change RC2, this is Surfside Road and My Common Avenue. 32, zoning map change for Rosemary Way, and we heard there's going to be a change on that. 33, zoning map change for Appleton Road. 34, zoning map change for Surfside Road. 35, zoning map change for 43 Nobody or Farm Road. 36, zoning map change Old South Road, AKA Van Gilder Avenue.
Brooke, before we
37.
get Brooke, much further, are we supposed to holler if there's something we want
Yes.
to talk about, or what are we
Oh,
doing?
Yes, just holler if you
Oh,
have a
okay.
question.
All right.
Do you want to go back?
Maybe keep going and hang on. I had, do we want to have do we want an explanation on any of these? Like, I'll go back to 32. Well, hasn't Rosemary Way been at town meeting a couple times in a row?
Matt, if I can,
Yeah,
Madam
that would be great.
Chair.
Yep, go ahead, Dave.
So a lot of these are master plan, getting rid of RC2. We've had a hiccup with Rosemary Way where we're gonna have to readdress it because one of the people, I guess their contract to buy one of these properties prefers C-Tech over R5, so we're gonna have to what was that, C-Tech over R5 on road? Yes. So we're gonna have to readdress that. But almost all of these, Matt, are getting rid of the RC2, which has been part of the master plan for 15 years.
No, just thank you, David. I understand that, but the reason I'm asking is I think in this one particular case, I think the one or two neighbors show up and voice against this every time. Am I wrong? Am I thinking of another place across the street from the high school?
Can I
Oh,
jump in?
Leslie?
yes.
Yeah, I think what Matt's referring to is Cobble Court, which is not on the warrant
There you
this year. Rosemary Way, we were waiting to come to an agreement with the property owners. That's why it was on the warrant for a couple of years and then either came off or the board took no action. But, you know, following the correction that we're going to do in April, this one should be good to go for this year.
All good, Matt?
Yep, I'm fine. Thank you.
Okay, we're on 37, zoning for 103 Washington Street. 38, zoning for North Water Street.
I have a question on that if I could.
Sure.
This is ROH to downtown, to commercial downtown. Are we planning this or are the owners asking for this? What was the thought process on the planning department on this one?
Leslie?
I'll take that, I guess. The property owners did request the planning board to sponsor this. It's an article that would extend the CDT 3 properties further into North Water Street. It's where there are existing inns and guest houses, and it would allow them some expansion possibility.
Okay.
Okay. 39, zoning 0 Fair Street portion. 40, zoning 23 Airport Road. 41, zoning open space parcels various. I know there was a question about this, I think, at the open houses that Campbell Sutton's been doing at the Athenaeum. Maybe just for the record, if someone could explain the logic behind this.
So zoning parcels that are located within the town overlay district or the country overlay district to the lowest possible zoning district for one of those areas is a practice that the planning board has been pursuing for at least a decade. And usually these articles go through with no issue. This year, however, we did not have an opportunity to speak with one of the conservation agencies before the article was printed in the warrant. And they have some concerns about a couple of their parcels and how they may want to move forward with those. And so they asked that we delay this article for now. And so the planning board voted to take no action.
Okay, thank you, Leslie. Okay, if we're good on that, 42, zoning bylaw amendment, temporary moratorium on tertiary dwellings. This is probably worth an explanation as well.
This article is, as you said, a temporary moratorium on tertiary dwellings. It is an action that the planning board has supported coming out of the Affordable Homes Act. The now by right allowance through 48 section 3 of Mass General Law to allow an accessory dwelling unit on any property where a single family dwelling is allowed would in some cases allow up to a 4th dwelling unit on properties that already have 3. So the planning board, and I think this also came up at your select board meeting, some concerns about it, decided that, you know, maybe we need to put a pause on the tertiary dwellings while we look into, you know, the exact impacts that they may have in combination with the new accessory dwelling unit that's allowed.
Okay, thanks, Leslie. We good? 44, zoning bylaw, protected use, accessory dwelling unit. And these are just language cleanups related to this accessory dwelling unit language, right, Leslie?
Correct. This is to make our local bylaw consistent with the new state law.
Okay. And there's a few of these. So 45, it's regarding the definition of principal dwelling. 46, definition of dwelling unit. 47, year-round housing definition. 48.
Hold on, Brooke, can we talk
Sure.
about that real quick?
Yep.
Art Gasparo, I think this is the one he mentioned at our meeting the other night.
Yep.
And he's asking, the question was,
His hand's up, so I'm going to let him speak.
oh yeah, he'll speak better than me.
Okay. Straight from him rather than through you. Yeah, right. Go ahead, Art.
To you, Madam Chair. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for recognizing me on this. I'm sorry that to the planning board. I'm sorry that I missed bringing this up while you were discussing it, but I have raised it to both the FinCom and Select Board. And I just think that year-round housing should be defined as 12 months a year. And I hope that you may give that some further consideration in advance of it coming up on the floor of town meeting. And I understand that there was some talk that it was based on being in line with the covenant program definition, but and the concern sort of being that what if someone goes away for the winter for a period of time? But I think what is more likely to happen is that because of the definition of year-round housing, there's going to be allowances for perhaps additional density and bonuses, and rightly so, to try to promote year-round housing. But it's going to give then an opportunity for essentially 10-month leases to then be granted. And then you're going to have continuation of perhaps the shuffle where they're going to be in compliance, and this is set up to be for renters as well. And then they can do short term or the whole summer for the, much more profit. And you've set up a situation, I think, inadvertently perhaps, of creating a loophole to what really I think the hope is, consistent year-round stable housing. And the 10-month definition, I think, could become problematic and undermine that. So it just seems to me that 12 months really, and you're not going to have a problem if somebody goes away for 2 weeks in the wintertime. You're going to have a problem if one community or set of neighbors, what have you, has all of a sudden thought this was year round, and then these folks say, no, you actually were only going to do 10-month leases, and we're perfectly in compliance with renting it out for the summer for those other months. So just something to consider, and I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thanks, Art. Leslie, do you want to make a comment? Because
Yeah, and Art is correct that at the FinCom, I did reference this 10 months being consistent with the covenant and other housing programs. But I think what I forgot to mention in the moment is that this 10-month restriction is consistent with the Seasonal Communities Act, which is an article on its own later in the warrant for us to accept becoming a seasonal community. So it's important that whatever we have in our local bylaw is consistent with that act, just like we're proposing other articles to be consistent with the Affordable Homes Act.
Yep, and I would say this definition was also part of a lengthy discussion around how to define year-round housing prior to the Affordable Communities Act, which fed up into the debate on the the seasonal communities designation. And there are additional constraints that can be put on properties, including prohibitions on short-term rentals and other features that balance allowing flexibility for people to travel some in the off season and still have the protections against the concern you have, which is 10-month leases with short-term rentals in the high season. So it's part of a larger picture that maybe isn't clear from this article alone.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Sure. But I appreciate your pointing it out, and it's worth passing along to the Affordable Housing Trust in particular as they're developing properties.
Madam Chair.
Yeah, Tom, go ahead.
We had a very lengthy discussion about this at AHT when we were forming the year-round deed restriction program. And for all the reasons that yourself and the planning director have already iterated, town council also advised us that the 10-month definition was the best way to go. Mr. Gasparo, we certainly come to AHT and we could talk about it, but we certainly have covered and spoken about all the issues that he's brought up.
Thanks, Tom. Nat?
Just one quick thing to think about for everyone. Teachers that don't live on Nantucket are 10-month a year job in theory. I mean, 9 and something. And there's an opportunity for people to rent to a teacher and still be able to rent or whatever you do at your property in the summer, whether you rent it short, long, medium, friends, family, whatever, I think that we need to think about that. That was never discussed in the past because it wasn't something that was happening. So it's sort of something to plug in. So, because I've been told this by other people doing it. So thank you.
Yeah. Dave?
Yeah, and I appreciate the concern, Art's concern, but I think that, you know, the planning board actively has that on their mind whenever we
Yeah.
deal with apartment units or year-round housing. We always put deed restrictions or some sort of restrictions against short-term rentals. So this isn't something that we don't think about or that we actively aren't discouraging. And I also think that we've passed, I could be wrong, but I think we've passed bylaws that says that any project that takes town or state money is not eligible for short-term rentals. So there's a lot of layers of protection against these housing units being abused in that way.
Matt?
Thank you.
Yeah, here's a question, following up on Art's a little bit. So say someone owns a house and they rent it however they feel like it for, for 2 months in the summer. And then they do a 10-month lease. And the person they lease it to lives there, is there through the holiday or whatever, and it's not there the rest of the time. Who's gonna enforce that? Who's gonna make sure that, that I just didn't do a fake lease for the fall that's for the rest of the year, but the people really aren't here? Could that be a way to game the system?
Well, I would imagine that yes, but any project that is getting funding has a monitoring agent who is tracking that stuff, whose job it is to track that stuff.
So this is only that type of what if we make a definition of year-round housing and we do a year-round deed? Is that gonna mean, is that definition gonna mesh with this definition?
I imagine part of that, if we have a year-round deed restriction program, that there will have to be a monitoring component to it. I mean, because even if you set the occupancy at 12 months, you still have to have some kind of way to verify it, right? So it's really about how you monitor. And I think part of the discussion in this was having consistent definitions so that the community knows what to expect when they get involved in quote unquote year-round housing, that it's consistent, less confusion and hopefully better compliance because it's consistent across the board. Are we good? Okay, hearing none. 48, zoning bylaw, off-street parking requirements, accessory dwelling. 49, zoning bylaw, definitions, attainable housing. Zoning bylaw, cottage community. 51, zoning bylaw, inclusionary housing. 52, use chart, pickleball. Dare I say it out loud? 53, zoning bylaw, solar energy. 54, zoning bylaw, technical amendment, Moorlands Management District. 55.
On that one, why are we going from planning board to ZBA? What's the advantage of that?
Anyone?
So, yeah, last year at town meeting, the planning board supported and town meeting voted to change the special permit granting authority from the planning board to the zoning board. Most of the issues out there are more neighbor to neighbor issues, not necessarily broad planning issues. So the zoning board makes a lot of sense. That was already approved, but there were some sections where the planning board was left in the bylaw where the zoning board should have been included. So that's why this is a technical amendment in our opinion.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. 55, technical amendment, secondary dwelling. 56, temporary moratorium on recreational marijuana establishments. 57, zoning map, 32 Appleton Road, citizen warrant article. 58, zoning map and zoning overlay change, 25 Monahanset Road, citizen warrant article. 59, zoning map, Rachel Drive and South Shore Road, citizen warrant article. 60, zoning map 13A and a portion of 13 Woodland Drive, citizen warrant article. 61, zoning map, portion of 13 Woodland Drive, citizen warrant article. 62, zoning map and zoning bylaw change, 44 Skyline Drive, citizen warrant article.
Before we go too much further on that,
Sure.
has the Stephen Maury's has the town council reviewed the the deeds he was gonna do, the riders he was gonna put on to restrict it?
John?
We have not received any kind of a deed restriction for review.
All right, thanks.
Yep, Matt, just to clarify, since you brought it up, without sewer, there's nothing for me to restrict. I can't afford to restrict anything.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Stephen. Okay, 63, town and country overlay district change, 13A Woodland Drive and a portion of 13 Woodland, citizen warrant article. 64, town and country overlay district change, portion of 13 Woodland Drive, citizen warrant article. 65, zoning bylaw amendment, pre-existing non-conforming uses, structures, and lots, citizen warrant article. Zoning bylaw amendment, regulating short-term Nantucket vacation rentals, that is a citizen warrant article. Zoning bylaw amendment, regulating short-term rental use, citizen warrant article.
Can I go back to 66 real quick?
Sure.
How does that differ from the previous town meetings? Is there any meaningful difference in this that we haven't supported?
You want me to take a stab at it?
Or somebody,
You
know.
can tell me. I believe this is the zoning change with no accompanying general bylaw components connected to it. So it is the addition of the use in the zoning use chart and allowance in all districts but CI, but no package with regulations in the bylaw, general bylaw.
That's accurate.
And so the plan supported that.
Yeah, yes, Matt, because this goes back to us strongly believing that the proper way to regulate is to allow them through zoning and regulate them through a bylaw.
Joe?
Is it not possible that there would be bylaw amendments that would key off this?
We would hope in the future that
Yeah.
if this passed, then people would start bringing forth general bylaws to address regulating short-term rentals.
That's why I voted for it. Thank you.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Okay, 68 is a general bylaw amendment, short-term rentals, citizen warrant article. 69 is the same, short-term rentals, citizen warrant article. Not the same, but same in process. 70, general bylaw amendment, finances, rename the revolving account, add revolving account. 71, general bylaw, streets and sidewalks. Oh, sorry, Matt, go ahead. You're muted, Matt.
If 66 is not supported, does the planning board, are you guys recommending any of the other articles? if 66 goes down?
No, I'm sorry, through you, Madam Chair.
Go ahead.
We felt strongly that we could only really support one article. Fritz's article, we felt was a viable article, but was not the way that we think that regulation should happen on short-term rentals. So, I don't think we'll support another article if 66 goes down because we believe that's the proper way to regulate.
All right, thanks.
72, general bylaw car rental agencies.
Oh, sorry, Brooke, 71?
Yep. Streets and sidewalks.
Has the sign committee looked at it? Has the sign committee considered or looked at that sign issue? I think the state is talking about limiting the amount of, neon signs per 1,000 people or 5,000 people. There's other stuff going on. And I think there is some discussion, I think, in the community of allowing this, but not unlimited. So I'm wondering, has this been run up the flagpole, the sign committee or anybody?
Does anyone have an answer?
Brooke, if you mean the HDC sign committee, no, I don't think so.
Okay.
Certainly could comment on it at any time. But I also don't think these aren't meant to be multiplied all around the island. They're meant to be in very specific places.
Okay, that's good. Thank you.
Yep. Okay, 73 bicycle right away. 74 motorized passenger devices. 75 wetlands. 76 this is a sewer article regarding Rachel Drive, South Shore Road, Falcon Drive, and it's a citizen warrant article. 77, also a sewer article, 42 Monahanset, citizen warrant article. 78, 13A, and a portion of 13 Woodland, citizen warrant article. 79, portion of 13 citizen warrant article. These are all sewer. 80 is 44 Skyline Drive. 81 is, I'm getting some feedback. I'm not sure. And then, yeah.
I'm gonna mute everyone except for you right now.
Okay, doke. Thank you. 81, real estate lease license of Baxter Road property for erosion control. That's the SBPF. 82, acceptance of Mass General Law seasonal community designation. 83, acceptance of Mass General Law effective military service on salary, seniority, and leave allowances of public employees. That's a citizen warrant article. Charter amendment, 84, charter amendment regarding town meeting, citizen warrant article. 85, general bylaw, notices of public hearings, citizen warrant article. 86, home rule petition, community housing bank real estate transfer fee, once more. Around the track on that one. 87, home rule petition. This is the government study committee recommendations for a number of years ago. This is revoting that. This has been out there for a while. 88, home rule. This is the fertilizer ban request as a home rule petition. That's been on here for a while. 89, home rule petition.
Sorry.
Sure.
Did Julian Sear say at your last meeting when he was here that did not get signed? Did I hear that?
It has not.
But so then why do we take it back again? I guess I thought if they rejected, then
They didn't reject it. They didn't act.
okay. I thought he said they rejected it, and that's how I heard what he said. Okay.
No, he said the chances are not very good.
Yeah,
but,
well, we knew that.
Yeah, but we believe strongly. I mean, I believe the town meeting feels strongly about it. So yeah. And that, for those who don't know, there was a window within which we could do fertilizer regulations, and that window closed, and we're requesting that it be reopened so that we can add fertilizer regulations. 89, home rule petition, issuance of pension obligation bonds and notes, another one that's been around. 90, conveyance of School Street from county to town, home rule petition. 91, home rule real estate conveyances from town of Nantucket to the land bank and or Sconset Trust. 92, home rule and act amending the charter of the county of Nantucket. I believe this is to add the gender neutral language that got overlooked. 93, real estate acquisition, parcels abutting Tom Nevers Road and real estate conveyance. That kind of repeats itself. 94, real estate disposition, long-term lease of portions of 48 Sparks Avenue and access and utility easements. 95, real estate disposition, utility easement, portion of 10 Nobodere Farm Road for airport housing. 96, real estate utility easements for the airport. 97, real estate utility easement for 16 Broad Street. 98, real estate disposition utility easement for Waite Drive. 99, real estate disposition conveyance of 7 Amelia Drive to the Nantucket Affordable Housing Trust Fund. 100, real estate acquisition, 357 and 9 South Shore Road. That's a citizen petition. 101, signs, satellite dishes, roof lines proposal. That's citizen petition. 102, ground cover allowance proposal, citizen petition. 103, appropriation stabilization fund. And 104, appropriation free cash. And there we have it. Anything else? Okay, sounds like everybody's done their homework. Do we have a motion to adjourn from the planning board?
So moved. Second. Yep.
Dave, do you want to take your vote?
Yeah, roll call vote. Motion made by Barry, seconded by Joe, I think. Barry,
Aye.
Joe,
Aye.
John,
Aye.
Nat,
Aye.
and I'm an aye as well.
Okay. Finance?
May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
We're very snappy on that. That's one of our key strengths. Okay, Jill,
Aye.
Joe. We saw your lips move, Joe. Peter,
Aye.
Rob.
Aye.
See, I think Stephen, are you still there? Stephen.
Aye.
And Denise, aye.
Okay, motion from the board, select board to adjourn?
So moved, Madam Chair.
Second.
Okay, I think it was Tom and Matt by roll call. Tom,
Aye.
Matt,
Aye.
Don,
Aye.
Malcolm. I see your lips moving, Malcolm, and the chair votes aye, so that is unanimous as well. No one
Aye.
wants to stay. So thanks, everybody. We'll see you at the next round.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, staff. You guys are the best.
Yes.
Yep. Thank you. I'm going to do this. There we go.